high-tech oils. Available from Auto One, Sprint Auto Parts, and all leading independent auto stores.
It was all about the first of the opening round of the 2015-16 ANDRA Drag Racing Series in Darwin. Paul Cannoli's breakthrough win was a hard-fought victory in Top Doorslammer, while as an emotional hometown hero in Scott McLean, who won his first ever event in Top Alcohol.
I don't win, you know.
John Zappia's first event of the season was one he would rather forget and will be seeking redemption this weekend.
He sideswipes the wall and it is over.
Another oversubscribed field has returned and the pressure is on for supremacy as Darwin's Hidden Valley Drag Strip plays host once again in round 2 of the Top Doorslammer Series. Top End style.
If our first trip to Darwin is anything to go by, this is going to be a good weekend. This is the 2015 NT titles. Chad Nalon standing alongside Matt Nolte at Hidden Valley Drag Strip. Beautiful time of year to be up in Darwin.
It is always magnificent to come up to Darwin, Chad Nalon. Brilliant to be back here. This was one of those bonus rounds that we didn't know was going to happen, but hey, what a place to come and do it. Hidden Valley Drag Strip. We saw some amazing racing back in July and a different winner, a brand new winner in Paul Cannoli.
Yeah, the champion has some work to do now. We've got 13 cars here this weekend. That's how the score looks at the moment. Cannoli sitting pretty on top. Zappia down in third. Keep an eye out for Mark Belleri. We're going to follow his path through the eliminations throughout the show today. Looking forward to seeing how he gets on driving for Morris Fabietti. That's the point so far.
You couldn't have written the script to match the opening round here in Darwin last time out. Grant O'Rourke was top qualifier with his first 5.7 second pass, but isn't convinced it will happen in round 2.
Oh, look, I'm not convinced we'll see a 70 this weekend. It's a lot hotter, it's a lot more humid, it's getting a lot closer to what we call Darwin weather, I guess. You're only as good as the people around you. We concentrate on something, we work together, we've all got our own jobs to do, we all look after each other, and that's just how it comes together, you know.
John Zappia has been the top dog in Top Doorslammer for the past decade. But with the likes of Grant O'Rourke and Paul Cannoli amongst others stepping up, is the 8-time champ feeling the pressure?
Oh, for sure. You know, if they cut a better light and they're running similar times, well, you're going to lose. So, you know, it puts more pressure on me to try and get the reaction times right. So we just got to get Fuchs Monaro right and then get in the right headspace and do my job in the office.
West Aussie Pino Priolo missed out on race day in round 1 and knows just what he needs to do to be up there battling with the big names.
We need to be on our game. You know, a lot of the guys are running in the 90s now consistently, but unfortunately with Doorslammers there's that fine line and we're tipping it and we're not getting there quite, but geez, when we get it we hope to be consistent just like these guys.
Peter Kapiris is on the comeback trail after a solid performance in round 1 and thinks the bad luck has been left behind.
It hasn't started off that way. We come here to this meeting and realise that the diff was broken. So we're waiting on parts to come from Melbourne and parts to come from Sydney to put it all back and get it going. The last time we were here, we probably didn't pick the track the way we should have, and the car got out of control and had to back off and lost the race.
Daniel Gregorini didn't make eliminations in round 1, but still managed to collect 40 points in the new non-qualified shootout. What are his thoughts on the new addition?
It's a great concept. It gets us out there for our sponsors, for the crowd. After the first meeting, it seemed like it worked good, so hopefully other tracks take it on board and it continues.
It's stressful, it's tight, trying to fit 13 drivers into an 8-car field. So to give you a bit more of an idea of what happens down there in the garages, we're going to follow the path to the eliminations with the Holden Trade Club Monaro team.
Can't have it dirty, mate. Give me right lane.
No, we want left lane.
No, you got your right lane. Seated.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right. Number 6.
Yeah, I already saw right lane on there, that's my name. I had no choice.
I thought it was water, but that's sinking if you feel that. Is it methanol or is it like... Just check all the blower studs. I haven't checked them earlier. Want to quickly start it again and check it? Yeah, give it a quick flash up. because it's been sitting there and dry. As soon as it gets some pressure behind it, it'll be up.
Lucky, eh? Wash some water.
I won't be driving, so I don't care.
Right. Run over the wall.
No, super sedans on before us, so they should clean it up a bit.
What lane did you get?
Right.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. I'll be the guinea pig, I guess, first one.
Oh, your first pair?
Oh, of course I am. I got no points.
See, that's what you get for not running.
Test dummy, you first.
All right.
When we start up, don't move. What I do is I just sit there.
Yeah.
When I see the opponent start moving, then you start moving. That way we don't get trapped like we...
That's what I'm saying. I thought about that for last time.
Yeah.
It won't start until they start.
Yeah.
He is a real character, and we miss seeing him in the driver's seat, but great to see him as a team owner still. There is the eyes of Gary Phillips, and a lot of people keen to see how he will go in his return to Top Doorslammer, qualifying right now to fit into that 8-car field in the Lucas Oil's Doorslammer on track.
Great to have him back in the field this weekend as he hits the line straight up, and hello, 596 straight off the trailer for the one-time Doorslammer champ. Nice effort.
That was a very nice run straight off the trailer, considering that they haven't had a chance to really get many passes done in the Studebaker and focusing on their top alcohol funny car efforts. We move to a local boy, and then a Victorian driver so desperate to qualify, Robin Taylor. Oh, it's not going to help his efforts. Matt Abel also a bit sideways.
Very tricky conditions out there. It'll be a 6:21 for Abel this time around, but that car, both cars getting the tyre shake at the hit of the throttle. Very tricky, like I said. It's very, very warm conditions here, but they're saying a bit of the dust that comes in from the car park is settling on the track here at Hidden Valley. It's caught a lot of drivers out during the course of this weekend so far.
It can get dusty up in this part of the world this time of year through dry season. The scratch and match team and a couple of West Aussies now. The team budget for this car. Oh, it's lurching way too far. Problems for Pirolo.
I don't think the tree's activated here, and Gregorini knows that. He shuts it off, and yeah, no time's taken up. So Priolo's dragged through the beams there, which is deactivated if you like, the clock. See there in the background, lights have gone out the Christmas tree, so that times they won't count it. I reckon the Gregorini might have been on a number. Definitely Pino Priolo was.
Well, they'll have two more cracks to get inside the field. Here's Peter Kapiris, champion over a decade ago. And he's also struggling with that lane. Pat Carboni in the lane where we saw Gary Phillips get down. Not a bad run from him. 6:03 nicely in the field at the moment.
Well, gets him up inside the top three nicely. The Power Play Racing team pretty happy. They've been the quiet achievers in the recent past. Replay looking from Kapiris' point of view. And yep, plenty of wheel spin there for the Dodge Saratoga. Other side of the lane though, 6:03. He's so close to getting to 5 now as Pat Carboni.
Ben Bray in the far lane. How cool is Benny's new Doorslammer? And Murray O'Connor in the Falcon. Tyre shake from Murray. Has a pedal. Blower belt goes off for Ben Bray.
Shears it off at half track. It's a 54 only for O'Connor this time around. So qualifying one. It's always been the speculator, if you will, isn't it? In Top Doorslammer racing, all our drag racing, but these guys will live to fight another day. Left to screen. Watch the blower belt just peel away from the Sentry Batteries entry.
in this first session. Top Doorslammer. Never mind path to eliminations, we followed his path to the staging lane so far for Mark Belleri, and Maurice Fabietti watching on in the background, his old car, new driver.
Yeah, familiar pairing though, if you were to take the Mark Belleri sticker off the side there. His second run for the Holden Trade Club team. Maurice Fabietti hung up the helmets after the Winter Nationals last year and living the life of a crew chief these days. He leans inside and makes sure everything's fine. Quick shake of the hand to MB as he gets set. Blaze on down to quarter mile here at Hidden Valley.
I gotta say, I love this idea of having different drivers driving for car owners. It's something that we don't actually see in drag racing a whole lot. Zappia on the revs in the other lane. No! Backfires the supercharger in a big way. And Belleri, after a pedal, will go on through 640. Whoa, no shoots for Belleri. And at 350 k's an hour, he's going for a ride.
Now, can you believe that he's just pulled the car up? That piece of bitumen has just been laid there in the last 12 months. That could have been something else if that had not been there. On board now from Beleri's point of view.
Sees that backfire in the left lane, and then from this point on, Beleri's just thinking about trying to get this thing pulled up with the handbrake. All the braking in these cars really in the rear of the car. That's why it cracked sideways. Man, that was a huge moment. World's fastest handbrakey, and a good drive job from Mark Belleri to get that thing stopped. Just watch how busy he must have been in this car.
Oh, two hands. Oh, there's the rise in the track too. Spins the car around. Matt Mingo would be impressed with that.
Wild moment, but he's A-OK.
What happened? Hey? Yeah, I'm like, they're not coming out. I'm pulling all the way back. Sorry. Well, that's good camera footage. I like that one. I was backwards. Yeah. What? I was backwards.
So what it did, went up in the air and what?
No, like it was and then it hit that.
Yeah.
And then it went oh, here we go. I'm gonna roll it. No. That's all good.
You know, after you ran, we just turned around and went into the car. We didn't look at the video at the bottom. And Morris didn't have his.
No. You would have heard, oh, here we go. That's all right.
All right, we'll push it in. Oh well, bit of eventfulness. Can't be fast, be spectacular. We'll go forward and right hand down, Dwayne.
What happened at the end then?
Just no shoots. The shoots just must have. I pulled them again and again and again and again.
Plenty of drama so far in this first qualifying session. Back on track now, Paul Canuli and Grant O'Rourke. Canuli is the points leader.
Nice launch both sides. Up it's over for Paul Canoli. Not so for Grant O'Rourke. This looks nice. And it is. It's a 592 straight to number one. These guys have been consistent with a capital C. As Sean Mifsud looks on, his car not getting down the track there. John Canoli left-hand side here, but doing some damage to the Janssen Racing Engine's entry on right of screen there.
They blew one of the doormats away from down near that Christmas tree. It wasn't anything expensive, so don't worry. That's how they line up at the end of the first qualifying session. O'Rourke on top. Not quite at the speeds that we saw from the first round of the championship, but not bad. The big name missing there is John Zappia. He definitely has some work to do with 2 to go.
Well, just do it yourself.
Yeah, I'll get you.
You know you do, brother. Put it on the ground.
Yeah.
Just you got to break the beat.
Okay.
That's it. You know what I do? Front rim, so use a G clamp.
Yep. Okay. I'll work
That's
it
it.
out.
You want it?
Thank you.
No worries.
Done. It should be the same as what Morris.
Well, he skidded the other one. That was the other one that was all right.
Oh, okay.
So,
we'll give it a go.
Dwayne normally, he's adjusted the tappets and he'd normally put the valve covers back on and just continue on doing the routine maintenance. But since We've got a bit of a problem with a tyre. We flat spotted a tyre. So more important that Dwayne concentrates on that, and I'll finish buttoning the motor up, and everything has to be done, and we've got about an hour and a half to do it. So all hands on deck, do what you got to do to get the job done. So. Hopefully the tracks come around, but yeah, I might just knock a little bit out of it and calm it down a little bit, not a lot.
Try and get down the track this time, you know. First pass I had a little bit of a shake, so we powered the track a little bit, so hopefully the track will come around for us now, we can get down it. No pressure. We'll be right, definitely we'll be right, so. We've got the car, we've got the tune-up, we'll be right.
No, you guys are right to go. Just pull up behind Pat Carboni.
Who are we running with?
You guys will be against Zappia.
Okay, behind Pat.
Yep. Pat Carboni, yep.
Left lane.
Yes.
Obviously, they're not going to make this session if you don't go smooth in the last one. It'll be a pedal fest from now.
It goes good this one, you don't worry about going out for the last one?
Let's suck it and see, mate.
So night has descended up in Darwin's second qualifying session. Scratch a match team on a solo here for Gregorini. Left lane Woes has a pedal. Never really got up and boogied. The chutes come out, 7:42, so he will just sneak in. And to be honest, though, that is not going to survive.
No way. Replay, the scratch and match team. Wonder if the green might be the curse here right now. It's been his colour for a few seasons, but they have really got lost in the wilderness.
That Abel Pino Priolo now, it means so much to Matt Abel to be able to qualify in front of the home fans. That was a bit better on the left-hand lane now. Oh, and they both go silent at half-track. Priolo will roll to a 7:02. Abel, no improvement for him. He'll stay in the 4th spot.
Suddenly, everything gets nervous because you look around. We've had some guys that struggled in Q1, now struggle in Q2. We know that the 3rd session, oh, that's a big bang for the team budget Faulkner's entry. Left of screen, we didn't pick that up initially. Still gets him in the field, but it's a very soft 7:02.
Backfired the supercharger in a big way. Here is Kapiris and Phillips now, turning the clock back to 1999 right here.
Yes. Phillips decides to get out of it. PK needs to get on with it and goes 5.92 with a 6 this time. The Kapiris brothers are back in town, and Mark Brew knows this is good.
Yeah, just 4 thousandths off the number 1 spot. Let's check out the run, or big time tyre shake for the Lucas Oil Studebaker. Got a little bit near that centre line. Maybe that was with a pedal as well for PK, but a good run, solidly in the field. Up steps Carboni. That 6:03 for him earlier was very nice.
On any given day, you wouldn't think that would count, but he's looking very good at the moment. Oh, he goes bang at half track as well.
Every car with attitude tonight. No improvement for him after rolling out of the gas early. He'll stay in the number 4 spot. And that 6:03 might be enough to survive later. I know some big names are going to miss this session, including John Zappia.
That 2 for Paul Cannoli. Watch this, half track, bang. Party's over before he gets to the finish line. He's inside the field at the moment.
We have followed this man's journey along with his driver Mark Belleri as they try to get their way into the field, and Mark Belleri tries to get this thing stopped.
I think this is a masterstroke, this combination. The deal only come about at the end of last season. Of course, his father Lucky, very successful back in his day in Top Doorslammer Racing. That car is still their workshop on the Central Coast in New South Wales, but concentrating on this Holden Trade Club Monaro team, the atmosphere with inside the Fabietti Racing team. I mean, it's always a festive atmosphere, isn't it, with these guys? But having someone like Mark Belleri, still a good young racer, plenty of years left in him, and very, very talented indeed.
Lucky Belleri, as a team owner, actually won the championship with Steve Stanek in the car, so it would be fitting if it should be his son driving someone else's car, win a championship one day.
Oh,
Oh, a little bit of a wiggle. Chutes come out though, and that's a lot better to see. He's also sitting inside the top half of the field there. Let's listen in and see what they've got to say about it.
Short shifted first. Beautiful. Good on you, mate. Chutes come out all right. Good. Now stop the thing.
Did it stop?
Did it stop? Yes, it did. And he's inside the top half at the moment. Morris Fabiani, you gotta love him. Tells it like it is. See that thing took a big step to the left-hand side of the wall. Did a good job. Goes to the top half.
Always good to get a pass in like that after the first round, mishap. So settles the nerves a little bit better, that one. That's good. You know, got down there, the groove went 597, was it? So no, we're happy. So try and hobble up a little bit more now. We'll try and go a bit faster in the last one. So not always great to start your meeting off crossed up sideways, back to front, nearly upside down. Oh well. Holden Trade Club Monaro, Morris Fabiani Racing, Lucky Belleri, great work. All the crew's been doing a marvellous job. They've been working really hard to get it done after the first round. Had a flat tyre and we serviced the car, got it all ready again, so no, we're wrapped.
Another famous name now takes to the start line, Ben Bray, son of Victor and a former champ himself. And Robin Taylor sadly getting pushed away in the background.
And the Mad Professor not going to take any part this session. Leaves as the two-time door slammer champ, but he's on and off the throttle. They're still coming to terms with this new combination that they debuted here back in July. He'll coast on through. Stays in 11th position and will have to work really hard to get himself inside the top 8 for Q3.
Man, that thing was seriously sideways at the top of first gear. And I know that Benny still maybe fighting a couple of demons as to the accident that happened to him at the Winter Nats a couple of years ago. Decided that rolling off the throttle was wise on that occasion. Don't blame him. He'll have one more chance to get in.
Brad O'Rourke sitting pretty much on the limiter here as he launches. He has issues getting away. Tries to straighten it up. Gets to centre line. Did he nip it? It's a 6.13. He does. He can't improve on first. Stays up there with that 5.92 and looking very, very tough in round 2 of this year's championship.
That run for Grant O'Rourke as the crew just try and dissect it. This is a run of a man who has done a lot of runs in a door slammer. That is absolutely pushing the limit down the centre line right there. 5.92 from his earlier pass will stay on top, but still no John Zappia after missing that session. But the good news for Zapp will be that if they can get that car fixed, and they've got the cylinder head off it at the moment, they only have to go 7.02 to make the field. That is where it's happening right now, the pits, the action. They're all trying to get these cars back for the final qualifying session. Will John Zappia qualify? We'll find out on the other side of this. Door Slammer Racing up in Darwin.
Yeah, well, unfortunately I went to service the car, went to put a new clutch pack in it. We had a problem with the clutch plate and that held us up by about 10 or 15 minutes, so we probably just missed out on running this last session. But we're in 4th spot. Fingers crossed, we'll still be all right, but it's not worth rushing. Something can go wrong. There's a lot of money on the line. There's Mark's life in there, so we'd rather sit it out, make sure the car's 100% for tomorrow, and let's hope we're still in. We do nothing here by halves. Food comes first. We don't need to go racing.
The most important job of the weekend.
Final qualifying session. Top door slammer up here in Darwin, and Mark Belleri biting his nails because his car is in the garage, and we've got guys like John Zappia trying to knock him out of the field.
Have to say, that was a very last-minute call as I was making my way back to the commentary box. They were all suited up, and they said, nah, we're going to sit this one out. And I said, you know you could get bumped here. And I said, yeah, well, we'd rather have a safe car that's good to go rather than trying to risk it. But this guy, John Zappia, has to make hay while the sun shines. He's outside the field at the moment. The Fuchs Monaro. Off he goes.
7.02, the time to beat. Forget about it, he's in. Welcome to race day. 5.90, John Zappia goes from outside the field to the number 1 spot. Boom.
He's good.
Okay.
Hey, you're never comfortable. You're never comfortable.
There it is again. Another backfire of the supercharger for O'Connor. I think that's still in the supercharger. Only second, third race meeting for that car with that blower on it. So that's frustrating. And another couple guys on the outside.
Talk about frustrating. This guy's had 2 frustrating events so far. Daniel Gregorini hoping to get inside the field. Matt Abel looking to do the same. And bang! Career best. Nice job. It's an 87 for Matt Abel.
Where did that come from? No, Matt Abel. So we're number 6. Gee, where'd that come from? Now we're starting to get a bit nervous. 2 to go.
Oh, how about that? That was a huge run from Abel. Belleri holding the tongs down there, trying to distract himself with the barbecue. It looked like maybe the blower belt came off for Gregorini. There it is, sliding across the finish line. So that means that he will unfortunately miss race day. Another couple now.
Gregorini did like it. I mean, he was on a mission.
Yeah, he was well in front.
Poker faces, maybe not.
Ben Bray, he's another one now that could endanger the Holden Trade Club Monaro team as he launches with Pat Carboni. And here comes the Century Batteries entry. This should be enough, and it is. It's an 05.
We're in.
No,
Can't
still...
get bumped out. We only can go 8.
Oh, okay.
Murray's out. Who got left now? So Ben's now. We're in.
What are we, 6 now?
Yeah.
We're 6, but worst case we can only go, if we're 6.
We can go 8. Yeah, you can go 8.
Yeah, so we're in.
Yeah. Well done.
I don't need this pressure. I've got enough grey hairs. I don't need any more, thank you. What are you doing to me?
Well, that gives you a bit of a description as to how confusing it can be out there trying to crunch the numbers on the fly. Well, that's a power run from Carboni.
The back half of the pass, even more impressive for Ben Bray this time around. Pino Priolo is back and Peter Kapiris to shuffle the field once again. The West Aussie and the Victorian. Oh man, the Saratoga is squirming.
Oh, Pino misses out. 6:33, only one shoot. He's carrying some heat down there. 3rd race meeting in a row that Pino has tasted the disappointment of not qualifying. They throw so much effort behind this as well. They deserve to be in the field on race day, but it's not going to happen.
Leads the track to Grant O'Rourke. Been very quick, as I've said, during the coverage, and this looks very sharp indeed. The 1320 race cars entry, and yes it is. It's a 583, bang on 400 Ks, and he goes to the top of the pop charts.
And a little psychological advantage there, getting over John Zappia, which will be important. He'll need that edge going on to race day. The wheel speed at the launch was really nice. He sat up on that wheel bar comfortably and takes his Pontiac to the number 1 spot. A 583. Abel, the surprise man at number 2. What's he got in store for us in race day? The top half, that being 1 to 4, will have lane choice for the first round of eliminations, which is going to be exciting. Okay, so qualifying has come to an end. Everyone has had 3 shots at this racetrack. We have taken the fastest 8 out of the 13 drivers who have arrived here in Darwin through to the eliminations, and that is where we're at. Big crowd filling the place here in Darwin, just like they did for the first round of the championship. And the Top Doorslammer race ladder, thanks to Snap-on Tools, looks like this. Round 1, the names down the left-hand side. They'll move themselves across to the semi-finals, the top 4, and then we'll get to our last 2. First one up though, Kapiris and Phillips. First eliminations race of 2015, at least in this season, in a door slammer for Gary Phillips. We've seen him in top alcohol trim at the first round of the championship, and Peter Kapiris desperate to try and get some points going if he's ever going to become a champion once again. We've got Matt Nolte down in the staging lanes. Matt, what's happening?
Yeah, you've got Peter Kapiris taking on Gary Phillips. Believe it or not, the second time only in the modern day that they've contested against each other. Wind the clocks back to the final last year at the Nationals. It's been a drama-filled week so far for Peter Kapiris. A broken diff was discovered on Thursday. They tried to get one shipped up for Thursday night. That hasn't arrived. So local support from some of the races around here made sure the Dodge Saratoga is on track. For Gary Phillips, that guy was quick last night, straight out the books. In the end, he found himself in the middle of the pack.
Can Gary get back that form? It was similar conditions, similar light, similar weather, where he managed to bring out that strong 590 odd run in the first round of qualifying. Just haven't seen the consistency out of Kapiris that we've seen in the last few years. This will be telling. This is a massive matchup for first round of eliminations. Top Doorslammer and Darwin were set to get loud at Hidden Valley. That's a big hole shot to Peter Kapiris, and he goes on with it. Wow, what a drag race. 595 with the 6 beats the 595.4. And it's an awkward one when you know you've won it with the slower car, because you know it was your driver that got you the win. That's how big the advantage was. And when you go giving nearly a tenth of a second on the start line, if you lose by 2,000ths of a second in terms of ET, it's not going to be enough. Matt, hell of a drag race to kick off eliminations, and that was a good way to see PK go through.
Tenth of a second just in that first race alone. A banging way to start here at Hidden Valley Dragway as we watch the next pairing. It's Mark Belleri up against John Zappia. For Zapp last night, a broken valve aboard his Fuchs Monaros. He backs up in a position, and Mark Belleri starting to find these scraps with the Holden Trade Club Monaro team. They set out the final session last night, hoping to see what they can pull out this first round. Remember, we are putting him through our past eliminations feature. I'm sure Maurice Fabiani is quite nervous watching on, Chad. Watch his boy, Mark Belleri, take home the goods here in round one.
No surprise that those with lane choice are going down that right-hand lane, but that for John Zappia means looking out of the mirror that sits just at the A pillar. Looks like that's what they're going to adjust here. Yep. Just make sure that he can see that Christmas tree just right. Says he's good to get into stage. Last spray of the butterflies from Lumpy Lorimer. Mark Belleri with a big mountain to climb here. Tick the first box with the reaction time, but he's all over the show. And Zappia marches on through 586, and also the speed over 400k, so he's going to pick up an extra 5 bonus points for that one as well, if no one can go quicker than that one. Unfortunately for Belleri and Fabiani, the race weekend is over, and that wasn't even the perfect path for John Zappia, so scary proposition, Matt.
Yeah, thanks, Chad. Looks like the path to eliminations has come over for Mark Belleri. Morris looks like it just got into wheel spin.
Yeah. Shook the tyres and then spun. Mark put him on the tree, but unfortunately, it's a 13-20 mile race. So anyway, back next meeting.
Tricky track, isn't it, tonight? They're getting caught out early.
Yeah, well, that's Darwin. We're not used to racing up here, so take it as it comes.
Race back to the garage now for dinner.
That's it. Plenty of meat to eat.
There he is. Maurice Fabiani heading back to the pit.
Thank you, Matt. From one Matt to another, it's Matt Abel. Good to see this bloke qualified in the number 2 spot. It really shocked everyone. It was great seeing the reaction from the Fabiani crew. And Matt, can he go on with it now? The pressure is on the local boy, Matt Abel.
Yeah, Chad, to add further to that though, that 587 last night in qualifying for Matt Abel, well and truly under his career best. Had a chat to him in the lanes and he feels the track isn't the same. He says, I'm a bit nervous about how this is all going to go. But go to the other side of the track, Pat Carboni's effort. They qualified 8th last time out here. These guys have been really under the radar in the recent past. This could be an upset, but gee, I'd love to see the local guy make it through here. I'm going with Matt Abel.
It's already a bit of an upset to seeing these two there where they're at on the start line. They've knocked out some big names just to make it race day. Oh, we're on for another whole shot. Carboni first to the finish line, gets the win, 6:02, beats the 6:00, and his shoots are barely to be seen. He's going deep. Oh, huge moment over the hump. I thought that thing was going for a wild ride, but he manages to get it stopped. We've seen 2 drivers now get caught up down there. That car nearly got airborne, going over the V8 supercar first turn at Hidden Valley. Matt Abel with one or two shifts there with the right hand, reaches for the parachutes, lost that race on the start line. He'll be gutted. And look at how quickly Pat Carboni keeps going towards that braking area. Such a nervous moment when the chutes don't flourish. They never really look good. And he was traveling at nearly 400 k's an hour when that happened. Oh, man. That's Rally of Finland airtime right there over that jump. And now comes our number one qualifier. Here's Grant O'Rourke. Matt, what's the latest with this team?
Yeah, Grant O'Rourke has absolutely been flying for the past couple of seasons. They really have unlocked the secret to the Pontiac success here. Of course, it's a bit of a bittersweet night here. Of course, wife Debbie is wrapping up her career in top alcohol racing tonight, a couple of exhibition passes. On the other side, though, as we said, we just spoke to Victor Gray, apprehensive about how the Centric Batteries Corvette's going to do in this first round of eliminations here. Trust me, when that car is right, they're going to be a hard force to beat.
It's sad to see Debbie step out of the driver's seat. She's had, she's one of a few big names, really, when you include Phil Lamattina and also Maurice Fabietti to hang up the helmet in 2015. Ben Bray, though, still pushing on with his career. Haven't seen his dad Victor in a car for a while now. Love to see Vic get back in. But now this is up to Ben here. Corvette versus Pontiac, an unusual matchup. Number 1 versus number 8. Oh, Ben Bray still got it at the tree. Can he get there first? O'Rourke gets around him. 592 beats the 608. That was a valiant effort from the Century Batteries driver. An almost psychic 003 at the light, showing that Ben Bray is still the best man at the tree in Doorslammer. It was a shame that O'Rourke chased him down, because it would have been cool to see him win a race with a light like that. But O'Rourke not to be denied, marching on through to the semi-finals, and that is deserving for him. Amazing to think that these guys drive these cars with one hand at nearly 400 kilometres per hour. Punch second, punch third, grab the parachutes, grab the handbrake, and that is how they look in the semi-finals. O'Rourke v Kapiris, Carboni versus Zappia on your snap-on race ladder. Big semi-finals yet to come.
The Crocans pit report here at Darwin's Hidden Valley Drag Strip, and these things here, the parachutes, the biggest safety things you'll see. That's not the name of a famous DJ up here, by the way. Some of the awesome safety apparel we have. Those chute pins have got to be pulled every time they go out. They were pulled out this time, Pat Carboni, but they're still not deploying well.
It's supposed to be safety, but yeah, we pulled it out, and I don't know, the boys reckon they just didn't blossom again. So we've changed them. DJ make a great chute. It's excellent. It's always saved us. We've had them for years and years. So yeah, just they didn't come out, and on the brakes again, and there we go. Speedway racing.
This hasn't been an easy weekend. You had dramas last night in that final qualifying session. The boys did till 5 o'clock this morning, and then this goes on. You're in the semi-finals, but man, it's going to be a hard-earned victory.
Well, we run the man, so we just go for it, and no, we give it our best shot. We've got to get out on the start line. We cut a good light, and we'll just take it as it comes, you know. Nobody makes me nervous. I just like to race. I enjoy racing. We have a great time. My crew's great. My family's great, and we have a great time, you know.
A feature of this weekend's NT titles is the Top Doorslammer Shootout, which is run for the top 4 cars who didn't make the 8-car eliminations field. The first pairing featured Pino Priolo, who qualified 9th, and in the opposing lane, Robin Taylor, who took 12th spot in the red-hot Doorslammer field. This will be the first of 2 passes for each pairing, with valuable points up for grabs.
Priolo edging close to the stage. What are we going to get out of the Mad Professor? Yet to see his best yet. Bright future ahead for Rob Taylor. Robin for a little bit of shake, plenty of clutch dust. Good old-fashioned drag race though, side by side to the stripe. And Priolo gets that one on a hole shot by just 28 thousandths.
The second pairing would be a battle of the West Aussies, with Daniel Gregorini facing Murray O'Connor, who qualified 10th and 11th respectively. Gregorini also failed to make the field last time out, so the shootout was a chance for redemption.
Gregorini with the Tricolore over the butterflies. Great launch, but turned the tyres. They got rid of that electrical gremlin, and I think it's overpowering the racetrack now. And that's good for O'Connor, though. He might just get himself a few more points in this championship if he keeps running passes like that.
Heavyweights Zappia and Kapiris are into the semis, but will the underdogs Carboni and O'Rourke have what it takes to bring down the top dogs? Come back and find out after the break.
We're moving on to the semi-finals of Top Doorslammer here at the NT Titles. Hidden Valley Drag Strip is the location. Fantastic time of year to come up to the top end. If you've never been up this way, cannot recommend it enough. We love coming to Darwin, and we love spreading these big supercharged V8 sounds into Hidden Valley. That's how they'll line up on the Snap-On race ladder. Top Doorslammer semi-finals. Lots to get excited about. Let's go down to Matt Nolte in the deep end.
Chad, I thought I'd come down to the deep end like we normally do here at this time of the night for the semi-finals. Yeah, it's got that round 1 from July matchup feel about it. Peter Kapiris up against the fast man so far, Grant O'Rourke. Second time they met up this season, third time overall. It's going to be hard to look past Grant O'Rourke. He's been the most consistent runner here. You look at Peter Kapiris, kind of a whole shot win in the first round here tonight. Just a quick update too, also from down at track level. Air temperature down to 24 degrees, but humidity, she's roaring right up now to 54% from 33 earlier today.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. I can't think of another venue where the conditions change this quickly. I mean, the winter nats comes to mind. Yeah, nice, dry, warm days in the winters, and then the humidity, the dew, the cold kicks in at night. A little bit similar up here at this time of year. PK, wouldn't he love to go to a final? Wouldn't he love to have another crack at a championship? He's already taken out a former champion so far today in Gary Phillips. Is this the season for Grant O'Rourke? I mean, they've found a lot of car speed in the 1320 race cars. Pontiac managed to get within cooey of John Zappia in the 570s, and to be honest, no one else really has looked to be able to do that apart from these two. Are they Zap's threat? Coming into another big summer of Top Doorslammer racing. Points on the line in Darwin. Kapiris versus O'Rourke. PK with his nose in front finishes the job nicely. 6:008. Oh my goodness me, that is a huge let go for O'Rourke. Wow. Hopefully that's not slipping on oil down there, because it was a tough job to pull that thing up. Experience coming to the fore for Grant O'Rourke, getting that car stopped. Two teams shake hands. Let's ride on board. Big pedal there. Punches second, punches third, parachutes. And thankfully not too much smoke getting inside that cabin. It looked a lot more spectacular on the outside. Definitely out the left-hand bank, and I think that was just the headers scraping on the road there for a minute. Oh, big time tyre shake in the left-hand lane for Peter Kapiris. But Matt, he gets the win. It's PK going to the final here in Darwin.
Well, there is the kiss of death if ever I've put on a drive. A tough break for Grant O'Rourke. Very, very disappointed, and rightly so too, with what's happened to his Pontiac down in the track. Meantime, John Zappia on track now up against Pat Carboni, who we spoke to in our Crowcam's pit report. This is the third time these guys have met up, and second in succession. Remember, John Zappia had a tough run in qualifying last night too. It's going to be a tough beat for Pat Carboni to take down John Zappia. Those guys are hungry to get back into victory lane after bowing out at the first round of this year's championship. I'm going with John Zappia on this one.
Yeah, you just about bet the house on him anytime he shows up at the start line. But Carboni's proved that he can run 6-0s here. And with the conditions as changeable as they are, 6-0s can win your race meeting any day of the week. Of course, you're running a guy that has the capability of running strong 570s. But if they get that spin up slightly wrong, if they go on a tyre shake or they spin the tyres, you watch Carboni string a nice 6-0 together and get the win here. Needs to play his own game, and a good reaction time won't hurt either. Oh, that's not going to help. Rolled the beams. Oh, and Zap did get tyre shake. But he'll get there anyway. Whether or not Carboni could ever have betted a 584 at over 400 Ks, we'll never know. But disappointing that he threw that one away at the start line, trying to get those revs up. The thing lurched forward. There it is. And that is, unfortunately, the game over. And a 586 with a pedal is the story in the other lane for the Fuchs Monaro. Zap away with a hop, skip and a jump as well. The rev shift light was on for a while there too. He has so much more left in the tank. And he'll go up to the final against Peter Kapiris. So can he get his first win for this season? He's on track for another championship if he can do it. That's how they light up on the Snap-on ladder.
Round 2 of the Top Doorslammer shootout would be the last chance dance for the non-qualifiers to pick up precious championship points heading into round 3. After taking the win in round 1 of the shootout, Pino Priolo and his 37 Chev would again line up on the stripe against Victoria's Robin Taylor and his 68 Camaro. Priolo would desperately need a win to salvage a horror start to his 2015-16 campaign.
Priolo versus Taylor 2 this time. Taylor having to really pedal that thing down there. Priolo first to the finish line, 6:33. Beats the 6:45. That was a driver's race.
After red lighting in round 1, Daniel Gregorini seemed destined to be battling the Gremlins all weekend long. Again he would face Murray O'Connor, which would be his final shot at redemption. But having successfully taken out round 1, O'Connor and his 64 XM Falcon weren't going down quietly.
Gregorini yet to really get a clean pass in this weekend. If anything, he'd just like to get one down. Oh, and again he overpowers the racetrack. Pedal fest! Hang on! O'Connor's gonna roll there first. You gotta love a slow race. You never know what's gonna happen in ANDRA Top Doorslammer. O'Connor first to the stripe. Baker's Dozen Doorslammers showed up in Darwin for round 2, but only 2 have gone through to the final. It's Peter Kapiris versus John Zappia. An expecting crowd. Hidden Valley, Darwin, they love their drag racing. Anything with a V8 seems to be popular around this part of the world. And here comes Zappia. Couple of the most experienced names we have in Aussie drag racing. Matt Nolte down in the deep end for this one. It's going to be a cracker.
Well, we're back to a classic final here tonight at the Hidden Valley Drag Strip. Peter Kapiris up against John Zappia, who is back in Flavour Country, it's fair to say. This is the 7th time these guys have met in the modern day series in the finals, 11 in total. The bad news for Peter Kapiris is he hasn't beaten John Zappia since 2012. Watching from the deep end here, tensions are high. Both teams haven't had the greatest run coming into this. Of course, PK's dramas on Thursday, getting the diff sent up from Melbourne. John Zappia breaking a valve and qualifying. It's going to be a tough race down here. It could go either way, but you'd have to say with the force of John Zappia this weekend, I think he's going to nail it.
Damning stats, aren't they? Zappia hasn't been beaten to the finish line in a while. His last 3 losses in the championship have actually come via disqualification, hitting the wall on all 3 occasions. They just make those final adjustments to get Zap set. The conditions, Matt, changing by the second so far.
Interesting to note too, Chad, 20 degrees air temperature right now, but the humidity, 73%. We've gone up 40% since the start of eliminations here. You can feel it down here in the deep end.
Thank you, Stat Matt. Not long until these boys are down in your part of the world. Zappia versus Kapiris. Round 2. This is the final. Points on the line. Supercharged Doorslammers. Kapiris has been brilliant at the tree, but he won't take the win. Oh, it's a 78 from Zappia. I tell you what though, Kapiris will just take away the mile per hour points off him by going 408 kilometres per hour. So there's a small victory there. They'll get a couple more points back on him. But for Richard Zappia and the boys, it's all thumbs up because his brother John has got his first win for the 15-16 season. Great light for PK, but he needed to run in the 70s realistically if he's going to get that win. Awesome drag race. Wow. Zappia's parachute lifted up and nearly lifted the back end of that car off the ground in the deep end. You couldn't really ask for much more there from PK. He found his best pass of the weekend when he needed it, but it wasn't quite enough clutch dust filling the cabin, shift light shining in his eyes, and Matt, Zap has that winning feeling once again.
Winner here in round 2 of this year's championship is John Zappia. My goodness, mate, you had to work for it this weekend.
Yeah, no, we worked our asses off, and the team, Fuchs Monaro, the team done a fantastic job all weekend. We were a little bit slow, missed the second qualifier, it didn't matter now. It all come together, we saved the best for last, and this one's for Nolene. She was with us, thank you. Awesome. I nearly made it without pedalling, and I just give it a sympathy pedal anyway. I probably didn't need to do it, but I did it. But
good job, Eddie.
Thank you.
And so with that, Zappia has found a familiar place in terms of the championship point score. He is now 29 clear of the bunch. And unfortunately, Paul Canuli missing out on eliminations and losing that points lead. How will it all fare up at the end of this season? Thank you very much to Matt Nolte, doing some good work in the staging lanes and down there in the deep end as well. The second round of the championship has been a cracker. John Zappia is on top, but will he finish there at season's end? It's going to be a long summer of ANDRA drag racing. Oh, one for the whole shot. Carboni first to the finish line, gets the win. His shoots are barely to be seen. He's going deep. Oh, huge moment over the hump. That car nearly got airborne. Kapiris versus O'Rourke. PK with his nose in front. Oh my goodness me, that is a huge let go for O'Rourke. Zappia versus Kapiris. This is the final. Kapiris has been brilliant at